It's raining, and I have to plug the car in. What do I do? It's so scary. Nah, first time though. First time really raining. Thunder too. It's funny, the number of things you read on forums and stuff about this, but yeah, whatever. It's good. What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a great start of your week. It's been busy around here. Things going well, though. I wanted to talk about a question that I've been asked a number of times, and that is the Nissan Leaf a daily driver car? So the idea behind it is this: is having a short range, and look, it's not that short range, it goes a good distance, but is having a short range electric car good for daily driving needs? It's a fair question, and it's definitely one that you should be asking if you're thinking about buying an electric car, but I also think it's kind of an overblown question as well. Let me explain. I think a lot of the anxiety that comes with switching to an electric car is just that sense of the unknown. It's something new. It's something that's not quite standard. You're not used to it yet. When I've shown my Leaf to people, family members, my wife, my dad, my sister, they've all had kind of a similar reaction. And that reaction is this: they don't think that it's a normal car. They think there's something different about it, as if driving the Leaf is going to somehow change the way they've driven an automobile for the last 30 years of their life. But that's just not the case. At the end of the day, the car drives exactly like any other car. There's no difference. I joke about it and call it my golf cart because that's the only comparison I had previously, save for test driving a few cars, to the feeling of stepping on the gas and having it immediately go. Where you get into trouble with that anxiety is when you start worrying about how that's going to affect your everyday commute. For me, my commute every day is around 35 miles. I'm getting around 75 miles on a charge. There's absolutely no issue for me with using this car as a daily driver. It is a perfect daily driver for me here. Did it take some getting used to? Yes, I've talked about that in other videos. You can check those out. But in terms of just getting back and forth to where I need to go, there's no issue. The battery more than covers it. The car has more than enough amenities to make up for any anxiety you might have. If you think you're going to miss something, you're not going to. The things I like the most about this car are the fact that it has features that I wanted in a lot of cars, but it's also saving me money. The cost to drive a mile in this car is significantly cheaper than it was in my previous car. And again, my previous car was a Malibu, a Chevy Malibu, that I used purely to commute. That's all it was used for. And the cost to go a mile significantly dropped switching to this car. We did get our first electric bill since buying this car. It's not quite a fair representation of what this car is going to do to our electric bill, but it is an interesting look. It also happened to be the first month where we had a cold month, so we were using our heater every day. Our electric bill really didn't go up that much. Our gas bill went up a lot. So it was kind of a scare at first, but it made a lot of sense when we looked into it further. From my point of view, you're not gonna have any issues using this as a daily driver, unless you don't have access to charging, or you're going more than... For me, if I was driving 30 miles each way, I'd be a little more careful with how I'm driving it. I'd also look for charging opportunities. So I live in the Dallas area, North Dallas, and we have plenty of charging opportunities around. It's gonna get better, I think, too. I think more will show up as, you know, we've started to see sort of Tesla commit to putting more chargers in. I think that everyone else is gonna follow suit. But in terms of my needs, I'm more than covered. Here, it's a perfect daily driver. If you're like most people who I know who are driving, 25, 30 miles tops to work, this car is going to cover you. It's going to cover all your needs. It's going to get you to and from work. Where are you going to have issues with using it as a daily driver? I could see having issues if you're in a very cold winter state. It does really well driving in winter conditions, the cold, the snow. It was, interesting to drive it in those conditions. That said, you can get more life, you can get more range by not using the heat. So that will cause problems for some. You know, there are some ways around that. Use a 220 plug to charge it, and it will, you know, you won't use any battery to heat your car up in the morning. Maybe that gets you all the way that you need to go. Maybe it doesn't. I'm a big defrost user. I tend to run my defrost all the time in the winter. I like to keep the window warm. It makes my face feel warm. I like the heat coming at me from the face angle instead of from the vents on the car. Just always have felt that way. And you know, I've always driven small cars, so generally defrost has always been used to you know, defog windows and things like that. But in general, I'm finding I'm not doing it as much in this car. I think it's because I'm still worried a little bit about the range, but realistically, I'm not having any issues with it. I could run the heater for my entire trip and still make it home with very little change in how much battery I'm using. 2 or 3% extra use probably for my drive. Or I should say 2 or 3 extra miles off the range for my drive. But I would say the answer to the question is you're the only one that's really going to know for sure. You know that you're going to get, you know, around 70 miles a day on this car. You know, the newer ones, you're getting, what, 100 miles. They're saying that the next generation is going to be higher than that, maybe even competing in that sort of Tesla 3 range. So, I mean, there's opportunities that are coming to really go a long way on, you know, what I consider a short-range electric car. You know, for now, if you're thinking about picking up a used Leaf like I did, this is a 2013, you're going to get 70 miles of charge. If you're not driving 70 miles a day, it's more than going to cover your needs. You're going to love it. Can't really see it, but traffic is an absolute beatdown today. Don't quite understand what's going on. I hope it gets better. I hate when this traffic is bad like this on my drive home. I actually left kind of early. I'm on the road earlier than I usually am, so I don't know. Not going well so far. Look at how far back traffic goes. In terms of weekend driving, we've been using this car more and more for just going around town with the family, which has been kind of nice. We use it to, you know, go any kind of back and forth trip that we normally do. So for the weekend, that's like to the grocery store, any kind of errand running, needing to go somewhere. Lots of grocery store trips, lots of running to different events and different places that we need to go. It's worked out really well. In general, over the weekend, I'm not charging it both days. You know, I'll charge it on Friday night, and then depending on what we've got going on Saturday, might not charge it again until Sunday night. And it's been covering everything that we're doing there as well. You know, about the farthest we've gone, just to like the edge of Frisco from where we are. So maybe like, I don't know, like 8 or 10 miles one way and then back. And then, you know, and then the next day, just a couple miles here and there, maybe, you know, to go grab lunch or something. That's really been about it. It's been a good weekend driver. We did, this past weekend, the weather was really lousy. It was cold, it was foggy. And honestly, I was just, I wanted like aggressive heat. And so we took my wife's car, the Honda, video coming soon about that. And it was fine. It was kind of funny to just use it to just run the heater, but we were going, you know, farther, and I hadn't charged the car. It was wet. It was rainy. We wanted the kid to be warm. These are all excuses that I do not have to make. We could have easily taken this Leaf. We could have easily, you know, run the heat and been fine. We'd just been in the Leaf all day, and we took the other car for a change. I'm starting to think that more and more we're not going to do that, but we'll see how that goes. You know, I still have wants for other cars. I keep calling this my practice Tesla, and you know, maybe there's some realistic chance that I end up trading up to a Tesla after this. But I also really like trucks, and I still kind of want a truck, so I don't know. I say that I see us switching more and more. And honestly, this car is really changing my views of what I wanted in a car to begin with. I'm surprised more and more every day, every week with with how this car is working out for me. If you saw the previous video with the range anxiety and driving, you know, that extra distance, I went back and watched a video, and I'm not sure it conveyed how nervous I actually was. Making it back home with that much energy, one, means I'm bad at math, but two, it was a nice surprise, and it made me feel better about any kind of distance driving that we normally would do. I notice electric cars all the time. There's a Tesla up ahead of me. One of the little BMW electric cars just flew by. I see Volts all the time. It's really, really crazy. They're everywhere. Go get an electric car. They're super fun. If you notice weird edits in this video when I say electric car, it's because I've been a guitar player my entire life, and I can't stop saying electric guitar. It's really challenging for me. So anyway, that's my thoughts. I think it's a daily driver. It's definitely a great second car. Having these videos has actually led me to talk to a number of people who have bought Leafs and sort of their views on them, and we've kind of exchanged stories. I've talked to several people who have gone from 1 Leaf to 2 to 3 to 2 in a Tesla to 1 in a Tesla, and I absolutely understand that mentality. Most of my wife's driving needs would be met by this car, no problem. We do have the unique thing that we take a couple car trips a year. I guess there's ways around that too, but that's for the future. All right, that's it. I'm still stuck in this traffic. I've gone maybe a mile and a half since I started talking into this camera. I'm not even really moving. I haven't gone above 5 miles an hour. It's really kind of lousy, so what a crappy afternoon. It's a flashing red light up there. I can see it now. Finally almost coming to the end of this traffic situation. It's going on almost 40 minutes of sitting here and not going very far at all. I'm gonna try to get some shots of how far this traffic on this other side goes, because it's gotta be bad. Terrible time of day for traffic like this to build. Essentially just 2 flashing red lights is the issue. It's taken 40 minutes to get through. Terrible.
You see, stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on 2 separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on 2 separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.